Awesome. Coach, just start with an kind of opening statement or
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah, so obviously extremely excited for multiple reasons. One, I've got Dee here who is going to be a future coach when it's all said and done. So this is cool for her because we'll look back on this on YouTube when she makes her moment, and I'll be able to retire and live in Seaside, Florida one day, and we'll be like, man, remember you were up here, and look how much you've grown. So obviously excited about her being up here with me today and just what she means to our team, and I'll talk about that later. Obviously, us coming off an off week, which was much needed, don't you think?
Agree.
We've been practicing hard. We've been talking about it all year. We've been beat up, but man, we keep fighting. So to get some much needed rest, and then obviously a great opportunity here Monday night against the number one team who was ranked preseason, the defending national champions. We watched the game as a team last night at my house, and then a shout out to our fan base. We've sold 7,400 tickets for this game. Student sections currently at 1,400 tickets sold already. And then this is not, obviously LSU helps because of who we're playing, but we've been doing this since all year. And then especially at the Ole Miss game where we had an unbelievable student section and tickets sold. And then unfortunately Tennessee, we had to move the game up for safety reasons. But I thought it was our best student section of the year. So we're really excited about the opportunity, but most importantly, we know we gotta get after it today in practice.
Here's Robbie in the front.
LSU, you saw what they did last year, and this year they just kind of reloaded. They went out and got some really good players in the transfer portal to kind of put together what they already had. I mean, what is the challenge of playing a team like this? It's already talented, but really deep too.
There's a lot of challenges there, Robbie. That's a loaded question, okay? So first of all, I got the challenge first and foremost for me because I don't know if anybody saw Kim's jacket, and I love Kim, all right? So a lot of respect because she's won 700 career games and she's a Hall of Famer, but that jacket was legit. So I'm shouting out George Sherman today, all right? George, I need you to come up with some smoke because Kim's no doubt gonna bring it. And then like you said, they had, the number one transfer class in the country. They had the number one high school recruiting class in the country. I feel like they're a lot like us where they've had some injuries. And what's scary is that team's playing their best basketball. I think it was great last night for women's basketball watching that game in the SEC because you had two of the best teams in the country going head to head. I know us as fans, like we were just as fans talking out the game. Right? Like it was great. It was cool. I mean, we were talking about, oh, here she's gonna come at this one. We were both just all engaged like a heavyweight fight. But also it speaks volumes again for, reasons why like D came to SEC because that's what this league's about. You got some of the best teams and best players in the country. And so for LSU and South Carolina to play last night on national television, it was a great game, and that's why we're looking forward to hosting them here at our place. But it's simple as this. You got to rebound. I mean, the way they're able to get after it, I mean, looking at last year's box score, we gave up 24 second chance points. Ball game. I don't care what jacket George Sherman gives me. That's game. So our team knows that. We got to be tough, and most important, like we said all year, I mean, me and Dee were talking about this before we came down. We got to be a four-quarter team. All right, in these big heavyweight games, like I said, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, South Carolina, and then LSU, it's going to determine can we play a certain way for 4 quarters. Last year when we went there, we won the first quarter 15-14. Second quarter they won by 7. Third quarter they win by 2. Fourth quarter they win by 7. So again, we know we've got our work cut out. They're really, really good, and we're going to have a really good night with hopefully a sold-out home.
Go here in the front.
You mentioned, the week off and them playing their best basketball. I mean, is in terms of a good time to play a team like that? I mean, is this sort of how you like the schedule is set up? Them, having a week off, a week of practice, them just having a really emotional game, a night before, or it'll end up being.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great question. I'm gonna lead into D here some too. I think that's great, but at the same time, we're really focused on us, right? We finally got 10.
Yeah.
I know you enjoy that, right?
Uh-huh.
Because now Goni's not, she was playing the 4 for me at time, her and Poe. Now we got Goni at the 4. We got a rotation. We got people in the right spots, and then we had. I thought, what you think the other day of practice? One of our best practices.
I definitely think it was one of the best practices we've had so far. So I think overall that we're ready. Like at the end of the day, we have to come out. We know what we have to do. So I think it's okay to take a day off and just mentally prepare yourself and just enjoy. Like you said, we were at his house watching the game. Like, it's just things like that that you just enjoy and that you don't take for granted. So when you do step back on the court, that you know what you have to do. So.
Yeah, and then to your point with a week off, man, we've been able to put a lot more in. You know, every time you have a week off, and so we put a 2-2-1, run and jump. We've added layers. I think you saw us press against Florida, so it adds a lot more to the bag. Because again, we're healthy. Like I told everybody, some things if you only got 7 players at practice, guys. Being honest, you saw what happened at TCU. They had to get 3 walk-ons because they were beat up. They didn't meet the number. For us, I had to make sure we had enough players. And again, credit to D in that Miami and UTC game. They were like, man, we ain't gonna make excuses. We're not gonna cancel the game. We're gonna play. And a time where these kids have the right to when numbers are so low. So I'm proud of them, but most importantly, proud of them sticking together. And now we're getting our numbers, and let's see if we can, put a better team on the floor.
Ben in the back here.
Darrione, you're looking forward to obviously the matchup playing against Nisa, your former teammate there. What have you been feeling? Have you been communicating with her much leading up to this game?
Honestly, I respect Anissa as a player for sure. We had a great relationship, but we have not spoken or anything. So at the end of the day, I wish her nothing but the best. She's at LSU. I'm at Mississippi State. No bad blood, but it's just we're both competitors. So when we step on the court, she's gonna try to win, do what it takes for her team to win, and I'm gonna try to lead my team to a victory. So that's how it is.
Here in the back.
Sam, when you took this job, someone who was really vocal and positive about it was Haley Van Lith, and
Yeah.
she talked about just kind of, what you meant to her. Just what was it like to have that support from her and just kind of her competing against her coming up this week?
Yeah, so great question. Obviously, that's my girl, right? I'm not gonna lie. That's the cool thing about coaching. Just like Dee's my girl from day one. It's really cool how recruiting works. Like, I knew Dee probably 9th grade. Was it 8 years? You came to Louisville in league camp. Yeah, like people don't know that backstory, right? So that's the cool thing when you have special relationships and then you actually get to coach them. So obviously I was fortunate to be the lead recruiter at Louisville for Haley. I know that kid like the back of my hand. She's special. She's misunderstood, because of her social media followings. Everybody thinks everything's been given to her. It hasn't. Obviously Kobe Bryant and Gigi when they were alive, God bless their souls. Kobe flew Gigi up there to Haley because they were trying to teach Gigi to be, one of the elite players. And Haley had an unbelievable work ethic. She obviously got a lot of recognition from that, but again, it comes down for the work ethic that she's put in. And then most importantly, she's been a day one just like Dee and the rest of my kids, man. That kid's special because she keeps reaching out. She checks on my kids and my family. Her parents are awesome. I'm gonna hug them. I saw Corey last night running down the stairs in the LSU game. I'm sure he'll run down to me, but he ain't gonna be cheering for me. All right, he'll be cheering for LSU. I know Haley will hug, and she knows it's nothing but love. But when the lights come on, we'll both be going at each other because that's who we are. We're competitors. So nothing but major respect for her, and I'm excited about this opportunity.
Robbie here in the front.
Darrione, you mentioned a little bit about you and Nisia. Last year you are playing for a really good program at DePaul, but playing on a bigger stage now in the SEC. What's it been like for you kind of transitioning here to Mississippi State? And I know you played several different roles for this team too. What's this move been like for you and the experience so far?
Well, like you mentioned, we played for DePaul. So coming from DePaul to here, I came for the fan base, like unbelievable crowd. Like at the Ole Miss game, for example, you felt the energy and the hump, and we actually do feed off that. So just being able to do a lot of work behind closed doors, and then when the lights come on to, have a crowd that's cheering for you, it makes it a lot easier, and it's actually really fun. So that's why I came to the SEC, to compete against the best and play in front of crowds that really love women's basketball. But overall, I'm a competitor, like I mentioned, so whatever my team needs me to do, like you mentioned, I played a little bit at the 4, the 2, the 3, like whatever it come down to, I'm gonna do whatever it is that is gonna put us in a situation. It's been different, yes. Any change that you come across in life is gonna be different, but it's not about, how you it's really just about how you react. So I feel like being here, I've grown as a person and as a player on and off the court. and that's thanks to Sam and the coaching staff, and not only that, but my team. Like, they really just allow me to grow as a person and as a player. So playing here at Mississippi State so far, it's been really different, but I've been enjoying the process.
And I want to brag about it too, because again, that's why we're having success. You know, there's no doubt she's a starter. And, you know, unfortunately, I've got multiple kids that were over 5 that could start. So somebody's got to come off the bench. So for her to come in and take on a role, and like I said, she wants to be a coach. And again, that's why I hate box scores every time y'all talk about it, because what she's willing to do there's so much more than a box score. I thought her minutes in Florida were huge. You know, I was trying to get her at that 25-minute mark, but Goni's back. And there was packages that Goni could press, so I put Goni in. So somebody has to sacrifice some minutes in rotation. She was willing, but her energy on the bench. And then she made 2 passes. I know the NFL playoffs are coming. Detroit Lions. Okay, all right, I didn't forget about that. But my girl looked like a quarterback out there. She threw 1 pass to Jessica Carter. I was like, oh my God. So just what she's able to do for our team, and most importantly, who she is as a person, man, has been huge. And then her too, like she said, making a move, it's been hard. She ran a 5-out DePaul offense where there was no post. Now she's having to learn to play with a post player, and I think people have to give that grace. She has smaller windows that she has to score. She don't get necessarily as many open lanes, but she's been handling it with like an unbelievable person. She's passing the ball like no other, and I think that's why you're seeing her best basketball come on at the right time of year.
Tanner here.
Who, in your opinion, is a better dressed coach? Coach Sam or Coach Mo?
Well, I'm gonna ride with this guy till the wheels come off, so I'm going with Sam.
See, I appreciate that love. I'm gonna give it up to Coach Mulkey. That bedazzle was bedazzling.
I ain't gonna.
All right,
The,
and
the
she-
Tiger jacket, that was fine though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give credit. It
You
was.
think George can hook you up with the bedazzle?
He better. I'm going to. I'm serious. Y'all put a camera. I'm going to George's after this. I'm gonna say, George, I need the best stuff. If it's in the bag, get it out of the bag,
You need
George.
the same details. You gotta, did you pay attention to the Coca-Cola?
Mhm.
You gotta pay attention to that.
I need
But
it.
nah, she puts it on though. I'm give credit.
Yeah, I need an NLI sponsor.
You're the front.
You mentioned the Detroit Lions. They said pre-game on the broadcast that during shoot around at Florida, you had given a message relating about Dan Campbell and just what he's done in Detroit. What I guess drew you to that and sort of what you wanted the team to take out of that.
Yeah, it's a great question. You ready to have some fun? All right, so you gotta get my back here. I'm gonna set myself up. So here's my thing about Detroit Lions. I actually don't watch much NFL football because here's the thing. Like on Sundays, first of all, we play. Now my family is die-hard Falcons fans. I know that's gonna hurt your feelings, all right? But they're die-hard. My dad and my brother really had a Falcons wedding. We're that type of family, so you get to learn more about my family, all right? But I'm not an NFL guy. But I like to watch Netflix and some stuff. And they had the Hard Knocks, and I'll never forget. It caught my attention. I saw it sometimes on social media. They had the guy singing when he was like, and then all of a sudden, then what the rest of the team do? All right, and then right away, okay, I knew, oh man, like we do this too long, all right? There's a special sauce, right? You can talk and talk, but there's an undeniable way that when you've been in this game as a player and as a coach that you can say, you know what, they got it. It has nothing to do with the box score. So right away I knew, I was like, that Detroit Lions did a little something different. And so for us to be sitting at the hotel room in Florida, and they advancing, I was like, whoop whoop. Okay, I never forgot that moment when they were singing Billie Jean. So I told my team, I brought them in, I said, y'all, this is us. First of all, Detroit Lions, no offense to my Lions fans, but they're not supposed to win. All right, they've been down, they defied the odds, right? That's what we're trying to do. Mississippi State, every time I told you, I feel y'all who lived here forever. I feel the national attention. They don't want to talk about us. They don't want to say we're supposed to be good. We're not supposed to do this. Okay, let me keep on here. What else are we supposed to do? Because again, we came here, I think you came here for the right reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're living to defy the odds. We're going to roll up our sleeves and we're going to get to work, but we're going to be on that same harmony and we're going to work. And that's where I told them, playing that clip, that's what we needed to go in the Florida game. And I think that's what you saw with a team that played for 4 quarters. There was a harmony. I told them I was taking my jacket off. I was shadow boxing. I was going to do whatever because I know one thing. We've been losing the 3rd quarter, but we ain't going to lose this quarter. And like I said, against LSU, we got to be here for 4 quarters. And if we're on the same harmony, I like my team. But if we're not on the same harmony, all we are is a team full of talent, but we're not meeting our potential.
Ben in the back here.
Coach, you mentioned Goni, obviously coming back from a lengthy absence on Monday night, but you know what does it mean to just have her back in the fold, be as close as you're going to be to full strength, and you know everyone else can maybe more settle into a role they're more comfortable with?
Yeah, and we'll give that to D, because I'm gonna let D brag about her a little bit as a teammate first.
Yeah. Well, in the summer, when I was healthy, she was one of the hardest workers on the team. Like, the way she was in the gym working on her game, like, you could tell that she was gonna come into this season with a different mindset and a different attitude that everyone noticed. And so having Nye back, I mean, she's always going. We joke around about it, but Nye's always at the top of the load. We wear caddies. Nye's always at the top because, and that just shows. But like he says about box scores, you probably would never guess Nye's at the top. But just by the way she goes hard in every drill and every rep that she does, it's unbelievable. Like, Nye is really athletic and she uses her size to her advantage. But having Nye back, I mean, man, it's just truly a blessing because, like he said, different offenses, different defensive packages specifically, like, she's gonna help us out. So it's really just cool having Nye back because we've seen the hard work that she has put in the summer. So just for her to even be back healthy, you know, it's just a big piece that we needed.